Buckle up, kiddos. We're in for a wild ride with this one. This is BattleBrick's Deluxe Panzer kit. I've never bought a Lego build kit from a company that was not Lego. Ever. This is the very first time I've ever done this. I am a proud supporter and reviewer of products from BattleBrick. They're a company that makes custom printing for Lego parts and custom build kits, primarily military things. And I have reviewed their products before on my channel. I want to show off today their Deluxe Panzer kit, which I bought. I had some extra spending money and bought it kind of on a whim, thinking that it would be really fun. That's not to say that it wasn't, but thinking that it would be really fun to just try something out. I thought at the very least, like if it is as bad as I maybe would have assumed it would have been, then I could just get a bunch of different tank parts that it comes with, because it is obviously has a lot of tank-like pieces with it. And if I, for whatever reason, didn't like the kit at all, I would still get cool custom minifigures and then tank parts, and then that would be it, and I would just scrap it for pieces. However, upon my original inspection and building this, I have more to say than I thought that I would, which is pretty interesting. So for anyone who will humor me, we are going to do that today. This is BattleBrick's Deluxe Panzer kit. Deluxe meaning that this is the version of it that comes with the figures. There is a version of this on their website that you can buy that does not come with the figures. But I bought the one that came with the figures, so I'll start with them. It comes with two different soldiers with two different faces, two different hats, and two different weapons, the bodies being the same. This guy is a Panzer crewman. He's got an MP40 with a stock, which I think is really nice. I am interested in buying more of these MP40s from BattleBrick. Because I have never bought any MP40s from them before, but I'm considering buying some more because I like them so much. This figure is very nice. I have some of these Panzer crewmen already, but having more is no issue for me, so that's going to be pretty cool. He's got a different hat than the ones that I've had before, but I think that that's pretty neat, so he comes with that. This is the Panzer Commander. He has a different face, like I said, different hat, different gun, which is just a Luger pistol. These are characters very similar to ones I reviewed on my channel, and I've already explained how BattleBrick's printing appears and looks and how it applies to these on actual Lego pieces. So if you have any interest, go check out those. However, today I'm going to be talking primarily about the build kit. I think in itself, the fact that you, for about $100, sort of around there, USD, you get two figures in a build kit that's pretty decently scaled, is astronomical. I'm very happy to say that I bought this, and there is in no way, I don't want to make any of the comments that I sound this video sound like I'm unhappy with what I bought, because I am very happy with buying this. However, my YouTube channel is kind of the only place where I can explain sort of to people where there's something to this that is kind of worth explaining and worth sort of diagnosing. I will not be showing the build box or the instructions or anything like that, because I'm imagining that that stuff is proprietary to BattleBrick, and I do not want to give away any of their instructions or how they did or built any of this, because that is ultimately what they're selling, and I'm not going to rip off their product because that's what their thing is. However, I do want to review their actual build here and explain a little bit about what you're getting into if you have any interest in buying this. Yeah, so let's get right into this. This is on their website, is called the BattleBrick Panzer. I'm gonna scoot my chair up a little bit. The BattleBrick Panzer, I believe from appearance-wise, it's supposed to be a Panzer III because of the long gun, which is seen only on the Panzer III, and the amount of wheels that it has. It's got 6 road wheels. That I want to say one of their older designs originally had 5. One of their this is, I think, is a revamped version, but this one has 6 now. It is now, part of the reason I bought it too is because I really like the scale. I think the scale is really, really great, and I like the simplistic building techniques to sort of imply shapes that don't have to be that complex. Funnily enough, their design Panzer is very, very similar to how I like to build my tanks. And actually, real quick, I can grab it. It's right over here. I was messing around with some of my own stuff, and I have my Sherman here. This is my own Sherman design, as you know, tutorials on my channel if anyone has any interest. And in scale-wise, this is not so bad. So this is my Sherman. It's for its own thing, though. I will not really be showing it off here, but I wanted to mostly talk about the scale comparison here. The Panzer III is supposed to be a little bit wider, I believe, and is actually too long. It's about as long in this scale, sort of, closer to minifigure scale. This is about as long as like my Panzer IV. So it's supposed to be a little stubbier, a little more square, but it's really not that bad. It's a very similar scale to my Sherman and could easily be in any build at all. I'm extremely picky about my scales and how I build my tanks, so naturally when it comes to something like this, I could complain, but I really shouldn't, because the BattleBrick, I'll put this over here, the BattleBrick Panzer is actually really, really well designed, in my opinion. Obviously, it's done with more simple pieces so that they can get the parts to actually manufacture their kits and make what they make. So it doesn't look very complex or very, you know, novel, as you might call it. But at the same time, it's incredible for the money that it's worth, and that the care that came to designing this, I think, is really, really nice. From what I've heard, it's better than their original design they had for it, though I have not ever had that or seen that by any ways or any means. There's a few things I'll point out as criticisms, though, because there are parts about this I do not like. Their tracks are interesting. I won't start necessarily on that as a criticism. Their tracks are just different. Their tracks are not Lego tracks, but are designed to work with Lego. I'm incredibly picky about my tracks, so when it comes to them like hitching even a little bit, obviously I can always complain more, and I complain about my own tracks and stuff too, but they're kind of the best they can get. Considering what you're getting and how well people might want this to work for a stop motion or for a mock, it's immaculate. It actually works really, really well. However, for my extremely high standards of how tank tracks should roll on my vehicles, I can ultimately complain, though I'm not going to because it's not really a good use of my time. The tracks are fairly good. They don't roll as great here on the paper, but they work very well on carpet, and the wheels will roll well, and they all move and stuff too, and it's all hitched together fairly nicely. I believe this is the correct number of return rollers as well. As far as the Panzer III goes, I haven't looked it up exactly, but it looks like this could pass for a Panzer III, and I think that that's really cool. There are some illegal build techniques, though, that I'm going to complain about because I'm picky about this sort of thing. You can't necessarily clip off on headlights like this. I know that people do. It's technically an illegal build technique, but these are not really supposed to fit in here, into these clips, these little like disc pieces here. However, I understand why they did that, just for convenience, and I'm not at all by any means complaining. I just want people to understand what they're getting into. A bigger thing that is a larger issue, however, is that the interior here with this machine gun, because there is an interior in the actual tank, this machine gun is like a monkey wrench, a Lego monkey wrench, and it doesn't actually make the lid sit consistently on this. I tested this a lot. I looked at it very, very thoroughly and made sure I did not build the instructions incorrectly. This monkey wrench, as you can see if I take this off, does not actually sit level with this. You can barely see it, but it doesn't actually sit flush. I don't know if you can see that very, very tiny edge with these grate pieces, which means that the top of this, which it's funny that these are designed very similar to my tanks, the top of this deck will never actually sit level unless you replace this machine gun. I found a few reviews and commentary on BattleBrick's builds when it comes to their machine guns being made out of wrenches, and some people were like, oh, that's peculiar. I think it's really novel and really interesting. However, there's no way you can turn this wrench in which the top of the tank will ever fit on correctly, at least from what I found. Leave it in the comments below if you bought this and it was not the case. However, mine did not actually fit completely flush, which is a micro detail. I noticed no one, I know that no one would really complain about that because it works and looks really good. However, even on the cover of their box, the thing does not even sit flush, and in their instructions, it doesn't actually ever connect. So that's just an interesting thing to note. Illegal technique technically here on the lights. I'm picky about how I build Legos, and I try not to put any extra stress on them, so I wouldn't do something like this, and I wouldn't ever put this wrench, which also is actually bucked out from the wall also, into a point where it's too far bent away from the wall and from up, so it's not awesome. Aside from that, the interior is just basic, pretty sparse. It's a nice little interior for the tank, and I think it looks pretty good. Even without the removal of this piece, though, and lying the guy down further, you can't actually get a figure inside. Very nice that they added an interior. That's a nice detail. You got a nice vision port and some sloping on the front with some tow hitches and some mud covers. The back of this has a propensity to snap off, but that's just because of how it's designed. Obviously, because it's Lego, I think they encourage people to do a whole bunch of modification, and there's so many things you could change this easily. And you could, if you wanted to buy this and sort of renovate it, you very much could, and make it a very, very workable Panzer III. That's why I want to say positive things about this, because it's very, very true. This is an incredible kit, very much worth the money, considering you get custom printed figures as well, is a really nice effect. For everything that's here, and it's somewhat reasonably priced. Another thing on the back here is that there is a hinge on this back piece here, which I actually don't understand. I'm imagining it's supposed to be some sort of sloping. However, the sloping doesn't ever fit down. The instructions showed trying to sort of push this down to get some sloping on it, though it doesn't work, and that's another method that stretches the Legos. I thought maybe it was a sort of a hatch port that you could open up to be able to access or store things in it, like I've done on my Panzer 38T design to put auxiliary pieces in there. Maybe these clips too are here for storing stuff. I don't know. It didn't come with anything else. However, when it came to this hatch right here, it doesn't really work. You can't get your finger under it. You can't open it. I mean, you could kind of, but I believe it's supposed to be for sloping. And then when it comes to fitting it back down, it will never actually close in the regard of how it's supposed to be. So you'd have to like make it more open in order to be able to do that. I'm assuming it's for sloping. I don't know that the Panzer III was sloped like that. I don't know a lot about the Panzer III, but that's something I feel like is a little superfluous, but I understand why they did it, just to sort of get some extra detail on there. Other than that, the design is very, very nice. The you know, it fits on just fine. The turret, I think, is really nice. It's got the nice sort of Panzer shape, and they do have these little opening doors for extra detail, though it doesn't go anywhere. These hatch doors close pretty flush, which is confusing to me because the top of this just sticks out. There's not like a cupola or anything. It's just a flush turret, and then there's just this fin, which I don't totally understand. The gun elevates and depresses, and I think looks really, really nice. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. This kit, I think, was very, very worth my money. It was worth the review and worth the explanation to be able to show off what it is. And if people have any interest in buying it, obviously I want to be able to give people a fair shake, because I wanted to purchase it, but I couldn't find very many reviews on it. There was only a few people who talked about it. I thought it'd be interesting to be able to show that off as well. Like I said, I purchased this from BattleBrick. This was a company that I bought lots of printed pieces from before, but wanted to try one of their build kits and see how their instructions went and all that. They have a very nice system of being willing to support people and pay to give them extra pieces if they need them and they don't, and they are missing the pieces that they need. So I had no issue with that, and I had all the pieces I need. Another thing to consider is that when I was building this, I had exactly enough pieces to build what I needed to build. There were no spare parts, which was interesting because I understand why they did that, because they don't have, you know, as a smaller company, maybe they don't have a lot of money to be able to make a whole bunch of extra pieces in every kit. But if I had lost even one of these pieces, I wouldn't be able to build this. And I also was only within like 4 track links of being able to use all my tracks to fill it up. So if I was missing like 5 track links, I wouldn't have been able to build any of this, which I get would have been on me if I had lost any, but it's kind of a very small margin for error, and it's just a thought. However, I had all of my pieces and the stickers and decals and everything that came with it, and it was fine just as it was, but it's something to be, that's worth considering. Just to keep in mind. So you got to be really mindful if you buy this kit, don't lose any of the pieces, because I only got the required ones that I had. Aside from that, it's incredible. I have nice things to say about this kit. I was very happy that I bought it. It's very modifiable. I love the scale. I love the way that it looks in the nice sort of Panzer gray here. It's simple, it's sleek, it's clean. It's a lot longer and wider than I thought it would be. A lot of the pictures on the website seem to make it look a little like chunky, but I think it's really nice. And you could obviously deck it out with all different kinds of kit or change it if you wanted. And it comes with these wonderful, wonderful figures. And it's just a really solid kit for the price, for how it's designed. It's sturdy. It's like a play model. It's allotted to the same build criteria that I build my own models. And I'm very proud to say that I have it. I don't know that I will keep it intact. I will probably use the spare parts for other things. However, I have the instructions, can rebuild it at any point, and I'm very happy to have this as a collection of some of my parts. And I got some new Panzer crewmen now, which is great also. So this is BattleBrick's Deluxe Panzer build kit. I think it's very, very nice. I'm not gonna like rate it on a scale of 10 or anything, but I'm very, very pleased with this. I've always been pleased with BattleBrick's products, but I was curious to see what their design process would be like, or what their instruction designs were like, and they were a little hard to follow because they were sort of just printed out, but they were okay. It was pretty good, all things considered. So yeah, that's just that. I've never bought a build kit for anything like this before. I've never bought a build kit from BattleBrick before, and I wanted to show that off. It works, it functions, it's a very workable Lego design for any kind of World War II mock. Like I said, they don't say that it's a Panzer III, but I know that it's a Panzer III, or at least it's supposed to be, and I think that it's a very serviceable design. And it's a scale, actually a design that I might consider inspiration for if I ever do a Panzer III design, though that's entirely a different thought. So that's all for me today. I just wanted a chance to sort of show this off and explain like how it's put together, the thing about the wrench, the thing about the lights, things to consider if you have any interest in buying this thing, or you have any interest in seeing what it is, I'd recommend BattleBrick. I have had very pleasant experiences buying from them. They're reasonably priced. They give you new Legos, all the things. It's a nice build kit. It's really, really solid. It's worth the money. And I just want a chance to review it and talk about how much I like it and show it off to the world. So that's all for me for today. Just the build kit. Hopefully I have some more builds coming soon. But as far as this goes, I am all done. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good one.